Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Big Gangers Views. Alright, so really quick, you guys may notice I'm at a little bit higher of a level. This is my first time doing a review like this. I finally got a tripod. Before, all I had was a desk and some binders to help me do my reviews, which is why you had such a bad quality video before. Now, I finally got a tripod and I finally can do my reviews a little bit better. And on that note, I'm sorry that I've been gone so much. During the summer and end of school, I was just so busy with other stuff that I had to do. I had no time to do reviews, and when I did have time to do reviews, I couldn't upload them. I actually have two that are pending currently that I need to do a couple edits on that I will release like day or so before, hopefully sooner. Probably around the same time that I release this video, so keep looking for that. Where my friend Zach and I, and Zach, he and I are huge Smosh fans. And we did a review and talk about expectations for the Smosh movie, which was just recently released, that I actually have on DVD, yay! That he and I watched, but we didn't have a chance to do a review of the actual movie. It was just expectations and what we expect from the movie itself, because we are such huge fans of the series. Also, on that note, I'm going to be moving around a lot. I always talk with my hands. But now, since I have a free space, I'm going to be talking a lot more, and I might be moving this while I'm talking or going up closer to the camera. So, please bear with me with that. It's just a lot of fun to do these reviews, and I'm stoked to be back. So, with that being said, the review that I'm doing today, so recently, David, who you may remember from a few other reviews I've done with, he was over during the summer, and it was actually about 2-3 weeks ago now, and he and I watched all 6 Star Wars movies in a row in just a day and a half. If you can't tell how big of nerds we are. We watched those together when he was over for a weekend, and it was a lot of fun. And it got me thinking, because the new Star Wars movie, it's coming out soon. It's coming out in December, and I can't wait. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. I mean, just look, I got all of I got quite a few droids and Boba Fett in the mix, and a Rancor. I'm a nerd. And so, basically, why not do a review? It's time. The new movies are coming out. They're going to have a flood of different movies coming out in the next few years. I need to get this out there soon. So, the only thing is which trilogy to start with. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, well, original trilogy is what the basis is, but then the prequel trilogy is considered to be a little bit less. And personally, I always eat my dessert last, so I'm starting with the prequels. This means Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Alright, so what do I think about this movie? Honestly, I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. I think it's actually a decent movie. Not one that I'd watch over and over and over, however I do, because it is still a Star Wars movie and has one of my favorite scenes in the whole series. But that's it. The redeeming factors I can think about it are Darth Maul. I mean, if you can't tell, I got a 12-inch figurine of him up above right next to Locutus. I'm a nerd. Deal with it. And Darth Maul's my favorite Sith of them all. And so, anyway, pardon me. Anyway, Star Wars Episode 1. I honestly don't think that it gets enough credit for what it is. I think that it's a good movie to an extent. Now, please, other fellow nerds, please don't get pissed off at me when I say this. I think it's got some great aspects to it. However, it has some really shitty parts. One of which is Jar Jar Binks. Okay? I think that Jar Jar could have been a decent character if he was in it less. And as you see in the second and third movie, he's in it, but only for a blip at each moment. And I think that Jar Jar, he has some funny lines. However, I think that George Lucas held way too heavily on him. Like the scene when he gets his hand stuck into the pod racer engine, just trying to find a tool that he dropped in because he is clumsy. And why they let him near machines, I have no idea. But just trying to get it unstuck. Just why? Unnecessary. I mean, sure, all I'm thinking is turn it on now, because he has been built up as such an annoying character. However, if he was just comedy relief, he'd be decent. Just basic comedy relief. Hi, how you doing? Okay, basic, to the point, let's move on. But way too much of an emphasis on Jar Jar Binks. And that's just my opinion. A lot of people just don't like him in general, but I like him. David liked him, and he doesn't like nobody. Sorry, bud. The show in general, way too much politics. The second and third one, or first, second, and third of the prequel trilogy, way too much politics. Most fans will agree, way too much focus on politics. However, at the same time, you can see the flip side of it, where if it wasn't for the politics, none of the original trilogy would have happened. This is a prequel trilogy trying to set everything up. And I both love and hate that as a fan. I love it because it sets it up, like I said, but I hate it because we need more action. We want to see what the hell's going on. The original trilogy was great because it had not very much politics, plenty of action, and great scenery. This one focused way too much on the CG as well. But again, CG was coming out at that time. But Star Wars isn't CG friendly very much. A little bit, yeah, like J.J. Abrams, the new Star Wars Episode 7. He's returning a practical effect. That BB-8 ball droid, I call it soccer, soccer with a head, that's a practical effect if you didn't watch a Star Wars Celebration panel that they did. And a return to practical effects, I think, is amazing because that's what made Star Wars awesome. I'm a big Star Wars fan, even if I am growing up in this current CGI generation, but I love it because it is authentic. The Rancor, amazing. Just the practical effects, amazing. Yoda, just, oh my god. Even though you can tell, hey, it's a little puppet. It's so great how they do it. But this, way too much CG. Way too much CG. However, they did do some great stuff with the CG. I think that the pod racing scene, oh my god, just brilliant how it's all portrayed. You can't tell what's going to happen next unless you've watched it millions of times like I have. And it's thrill-seeking. And I honestly don't think that this is the weakest of the three, of all 6 movies. Far from it, in fact. I think that has really big downsides, but really high ups. Darth Maul, a huge up. I think that Darth Maul is a badass villain. He is my favorite Sith Lord of all. But on the downside, Anakin as an orphan. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm a fan, and you guys all know that I curse, but what the hell were they thinking? Anakin as a little kid? The ones that make this guy, Darth Vader, who's one, if not the, he is actually, one, if not the most iconic villains in all the movie stuff. If you haven't seen Star Wars, you have definitely seen the last somewhere else. No matter where you look, if it's a nerd thing or whatever, they always refer back to Darth Vader, or they refer back to his image, the dark image, the epitome of evil. And then a little orphan boy that is whiny as hell, that just want a pod race. What the fuck? But at the same time, it makes sense because they need to have somewhat of a build-up. So, I don't know. And like I said, on the flip side, like with the politics, how the politics do come in play in the later movies, Jar Jar Binks, pardon me, Jar Jar Binks is also, he has some redeeming factors. For example, he brought the Gungans together with the Naboo. Episode 2, he gives the Sith Lord all the emergency powers. Basically, he fucks everyone up. Oh well. And episode 3, okay, he's gone. That's about it. But he still does play a vital role. And I'll get into that when I do episode 2, which I'll get into detail very much later. So, overall with this stuff, I think that Qui-Gon Jinn is a great character. I love Qui-Gon Jinn's character. I think that, oh my god. Sorry. Yeah, I think that Liam Neeson, sorry, it's been a long day. I think that Liam Neeson plays a great version of a Jedi. I think that he is fantastic how he portrays Qui-Gon Jinn. And then, I've never been able to get this guy's name, but the actor who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi in all 3 of the prequel trilogy movies. I think that he does a brilliant Obi-Wan Kenobi in this one because he's young. He doesn't have that big of a part, but you still see some of the emphasis of how great of a man he'll become. You see when he's starting to learn. And I think that that's great because even though it's the same character, we still see somewhat of the same fundamental beginnings of a wise character. And like at the end of the movie, after Qui-Gon dies, and I love Qui-Gon Jinn. Obi-Wan's my favorite Jedi. Yeah, after Qui-Gon dies, it's quite sad no matter how many times I watch it. But yeah, I think that how they had the emphasis on Obi-Wan looking up to Qui-Gon, and then Anakin also looking up to Qui-Gon, which is a very fundamental thing in the series. Because, Obi-Wan has a great mentor. Arguably one of the best Jedi. One of the most popular, well, somewhat, but in my opinion, one of my favorite Jedi. And a Jedi, he's kind of rebellious, but he's wise, and he knows what he's doing. No matter what Qui-Gon Jinn does, he knows what he's doing. However, they say, like Obi-Wan says, don't go against the Counselor again, Master, not again. And that line emphasizes that he's sort of a rebel, but he knows what he is doing. He doesn't do something unless he has an end goal that he knows that he can meet. And he's trying whatever he can to make sure that end goal happens. And then Obi-Wan, we see that he wants to become like his old master. Arguably, he's trying to live himself through Anakin. By seeing this great wise master and himself teaching a younger kid the ways that he learned and trying to get it to perfect. Which ultimately ends up, hi, I'm a Sith Lord now, I'm going to kill you, in episode 4. Pardon me. So, overall feelings about this movie, I think that it wasn't really well done, far from, but it was far from extremely horrible. I've seen some really bad films, but I think that this is, I'm going to say it, I think that this is a pretty decent movie. If you are a Star Wars fan, especially growing up now, start with episodes 4, 5, and 6 before you watch your prequel trilogies. Any Star Wars fan should watch the original trilogy first, so you see where everything began. But, I did, and I love the series. But I think that episode 1 is still a decent film. However, it's not, I don't think they give it quite enough credit. I think that it's definitely basics. Definitely basics of a movie. So, I'm going to have to give it 2.5 stars, right down the middle, out of 5. It's a decent movie, however, as a fan, I still... this is kind of a tough one. 3 stars. 3 out of 5 stars for Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I say this because it does have some really big downs, so far from a 4. But it has some good ups that if you're a fan and you look at all those patterns, you'll understand. I mean, when I was younger, I didn't get the themes, but this last time I watched them in a new light. All 6 of them, including this one, seeing the basis of how everything progresses. And so, for me, being as big of a Star Wars fanatic as I am, and then seeing that, I have to give it a little bit higher stars. So, definitely, if you haven't seen it and you are a Star Wars fan, check it out. But only if you're a Star Wars fan, or just want to watch one with a bunch of, well, if you want to see what many people consider to be the worst, but personally I think is a decent film, yeah, I think that if you're a Star Wars fan, definitely watch it. But if not, okay, watch it, but if you're bored, but don't expect it to be the greatest movie of all time. So anyway, this is kind of a shorter video than normal. Yay! So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Please like and subscribe this video. Please check out my channel. There has some other videos that I've been doing, and I will update those other 2 that I did with Zach. So anyway, please take care, guys, and yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye.